Welcome back to On Texas Football. I'm Jeff Howe, joined by CJ Vogel and lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Going to play a little game today. Rod and I did this earlier this week on a live stream. A little game of keep 4, cut 4. 8 random names. Once you get the 4 cuts, you're either keeping who's left, or once you get the 4 keeps, you got to cut everybody who's left on the list. We're doing 21st century Texas running backs. Now, our colleague Marcus Myers did set me straight a couple of weeks ago. The 21st century technically started on January 1st, 2001. So anybody from the 2001 season, any running back from the 2001 season up until now is eligible for this list. Hodges Mitchell, Ricky Williams, go on down the line backwards, Priest Holmes, Sean Mitchell, Chris Gilbert, Earl Campbell, Roosevelt Leaks. None of those guys eligible to be selected. We're only talking 21st century Texas running backs. Rod, CJ, which one of y'all wants the first pick here? What wants to take the first option? CJ, you want it?
Give it to CJ. Give it to CJ.
All right, CJ. Keep or cut Bijan Robinson.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to give me something a little harder than that. That's a softball. That's an easy keep. Bijan, in the last 10 or 15 years since I've been following this program religiously, I think is the most complete running back. I think he is the number one running back I would pick if I was starting a program from everybody that's played at Texas in the 21st century. He's my guy. That's an easy pick for me. I'm keeping him. That is, without question, one of the best running backs we've seen in college football over the last decade as well.
Okay. So that is a
easy
keep for Bijan for CJ. Rod, you are up next. Keep or cut Jamaal Charles.
Oh, yeah. You keep that. You keep Jamaal Charles. I mean, that's world-class speed. I mean, the guy in the NFL right now, he has the record. And I know this is about Texas, but still, he has the record, I believe, beat out Jim Brown for career yards per rush, right? Did he still, I believe, have that?
I believe he still has the record, yes.
So, yeah, man, you got to keep Jamaal Charles. Those first two, to me, that's pretty easy. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty easy because Bijan's a keeper, ain't no doubt. I'm sad that I don't get to get Bijan. I ain't gonna lie.
Marion Motley could have that record. Rod, depending, there's some kind of squirrely math and minimum.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's true.
But Jamaal Charles did pass Jim Brown's what most people consider to be the record. Jim Brown had it, and now Jamaal Charles has it. Hey, CJ, as some you didn't really get to see a ton of Jamaal Charles play, at least in your formative years. How do you categorize his Texas career? Like, is it good? Is it among the all-time greats? Was it a little, did it leave you wanting a little bit? Like, I just want your perspective on Jamaal Charles. I know what mine is, but what's yours?
Yeah, so when I think of Jamaal Charles, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong here, because I know that y'all followed and were around the program significantly more than I was around this time. His NFL career always outweighs that of his Texas career, in my eyes, right? He holds, to your point, Rod, the highest yards per carry clip in NFL history. I think of him more as a Chief almost than I do a Texas Longhorn. And I think in large part of that was also because of who he was playing with in that Texas running back room and who he preceded and then was followed by. Anytime you're around Cedric Benson in that conversation in that era, I think that's kind of who takes the cake for that top-tier back for Texas in that era. So, again, I'm sure if I'm way off here, you guys, it's good that I haven't been stopped yet. But, two, I'm sure the guys that in the comments will call me out on that. But I've always kind of thought more so of his NFL career than what he put on the field here at Texas. And that's, again, not a knock because he was an all-timer in the league.
Yeah, I believe he's still, though. And he's still top 5 at Texas, though? Yeah. It's a shorter time. He's kind of got that Earl Thomas effect where it was short, but it was a Category 5 force of nature when he was on campus.
Hey, one of the things that gets lost in the mid 2000s is, a lot of people wax poetic. Well, what if Adrian Peterson would have come to Texas? And that would have been great. Maybe Texas wins a national championship in 2004. I don't know. But you forget, Rod, in 2005, that backfield, you have all NFL guys in that backfield. And Jamaal Charles as a freshman averaged 7.4 yards per carry, rushed for almost 900 yards and 11 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Like he was, when I think of freshman impact running backs, he's the guy that immediately jumps up. He and Cedric Benson are the two guys that immediately jump up to the top of the list. Like, no, man, at that position, you can come in and have an impact on national championship caliber teams really quick. His sophomore year was kind of disappointing, but I just remember how much he exploded down the back half of that 07 season. 2007, Jamaal Charles finishes with 1,619 yards, 6.3 per carry, 18 touchdowns. And to your point, Rod, had he come back in 2008, and if that 2008 offense has Jamaal Charles, there's no question Texas is the best team in the country. You know what?
No doubt.
Imagine that.
Wow. I didn't even think about that, Jeff. That's one of the great what ifs right there. That's a hell of a what if right there. Damn, we might have to break down one of those. But you're right. Motley does officially have the record for yards per rush in a career in the NFL. He's at 5.7, I believe. The Jamaal Charles at 5.4, something like that. But he played in like the 40s. All right, he was like a lot. It's back when it was Iron Man football. So I would say modern era is Jamaal Charles.
Yeah, where linebackers are built like me, right?
Pretty much, exactly.
Selling insurance in the offseason and whatnot. Rod, you're up next. Keep or cut, 21st century Texas running backs. Deontay Foreman, keep or
wow.
cut? Now, we talk about
Jamaal.
Yeah, we talk about Jamaal only being 3 years. Really, if you look at Deontay's career, I mean, it really is 2016. He had a good year, solid year in 15, but it's really one season is his production.
It is, but he still, man, God was the best running back in the country, basically that season. Man, 21st century. Now you got me running through these running backs in my head a little bit. Man, I'm gonna keep Deontay. I'm keeping Deontay. Hell yeah, I'm keeping Deontay. I'm not gonna I'm keeping that. I know he ain't. I know you're right about in terms of the totality of his impact. Obviously compared to some of the other players that we're going to talk about, that can be questioned and debated. But man, that 1 year, I mean, you can make the argument there wasn't a better running back in the country. Like he was that good.
He's got a doke under his pocket. Like he has a claim that, and we're going to go down a list of guys that I'm sure is going to be almost impossible to cut, but he was the best running back in the country. He's one of two Texas Longhorn running backs to ever eclipse 2,000 rushing yards in a single season. The other won the Heisman, right, with Ricky Williams. So I was thinking about this from the minute, Jeff, that you tossed this idea up to us. When Deontay Foreman comes, I know it was only the one and a half year that you're taking into account. I think you have to keep him. And that's leaving somebody else out. That's a lot of folks are going to look at and say, well, how do you do that? It's like, well, right now we're working with Jamaal Charles, one of the all-time greats at Texas, and 2 Doak Walker Award winners. That's how I view it.
What I love about Deontay's story is that it is kind of the opposite of what you talk about with Jamaal Charles, right? As soon as you saw Jamaal Charles, you went, oh, well, yeah. 18 years old, doesn't matter. Like right. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And with Deontay, remember, he almost came in with the package deal with his brother.
Yeah.
And then remember we were talking about this, Jeff. Was it Casey Studdard who told us he went to practice? He was like, I don't know why Deontay Foreman's not playing more. I'm telling you that right now. He should be playing more. And then we were like, yeah, it seems like because he was in that competition with guys, still averaging over 7 yards per rush, right, in that second year. And then he ascended to greatness. And it did it amidst an offense where he didn't have a lot of help, man.
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of weapons around him.
That was Deontay's freshman year because remember he got to camp late because he had some academic stuff to take care of. So he got in. He didn't get there until August. And I remember Casey Studdard coming into the radio station we were at the time, Rod, coming in there and saying, "Hey, who's 33?" Like, oh, Deontay Foreman's a freshman. Yeah, he's the best running back on the team.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that. I was like, what?
Casey was right. CJ, I just realized I skipped you. So CJ, you get the next 2. To get back on track. CJ, keep or cut. One of Rod's former teammates, Selvin Young, keep or cut.
Oh, we're going to the way back machine here. We only get to keep 4, correct, Jeff?
Correct.
That's the rule here.
Yeah.
There's some tough cuts here. We just talked about it. 2 Doak Walkers already in the boat, and then you got Jamaal Charles. So unfortunately for me, this is going to be a cut. Rod, I'm sure talk more about what you saw on the field at the time from Selvin. And I know hearing from Texas fans in the chat, seeing him in person, they're going to talk about Selvin Young like he was one of the most influential backs at Texas. Unfortunately, given the rules of the game, that's just one of the casualties that we have to make on this episode.
Selvin was a really good player and actually found the perfect landing spot in the league when he got to the league when he was with the Broncos. Running that outside zone scheme, and he was really good at it. Also was a good return guy too, if I'm not mistaken, for Texas. But I get it. I mean, amongst even with the guys he played with great backs who obviously in this kind of this exercise that we're doing right now, you'd have chose over Selvin. So that is not hating on Selvin at all. It's just how deep the 21st century running back room has been for Texas. It's just unbelievable. So I agree with CJ. I would probably cut him too, but he's great.
arguably the lead back in the stable for a national championship team.
Exactly.
And I think we forget before the knee injury, just an incredible straight line speed. To your point, Rod, was a really good return man before his injury. So CJ, you've got this next one too before we get back on track. Malcolm Brown.
Oh, that's
2011,
good.
2014. Carved out a nice career for himself in the league. Malcolm Brown, you keeping him or you cutting him?
I think I'm going to roll the dice with what you've got left. And that's not a knock from Malcolm Brown because, look, he was a bright spot in offense for a 3 or 4 year period that just didn't have anything going for it. And I know we've talked about on previous live streams how exciting it was for the 1-2 punch of a Jonathan Gray and a Malcolm Brown. And for whatever reason, whether it be injuries or just the offense falling flat, you didn't get to see it on a consistent basis. Again, another guy where the dark ages of Texas football, you kind of look back and you say, man, he was talented, man. He had some juice in his game. Unfortunately, it maybe didn't always show up on a Saturday given offensive line, play calling, quarterback situations. So I think I'm going to have to unfortunately pass again here, Rod. What say you?
Oh man, yeah, because I think Jeff's got something up his sleeve, man. So I'm with you. I think you want to leave some room open on that roster, but that's a tough one because Malcolm Brown was a damn good back. You almost forget about him because he has so many good backs. So I would have rolled the dice too. I'm with you, CJ. Smart move.
Malcolm Brown's best year at Texas, 2013, 904 yards, a little over 4 yards to carry, 9 rushing touchdowns. Sean McVay loved him some Malcolm Brown when he was in the league. Got a couple different spins with Sean McVay. Rod, you're up next to get us back on track. Again, with the next keep, you're done and you're cutting everybody else who's on the list. Keep or cut, Jonathan Brooks.
I'm glad you got this one, Rod, because that's the toughest one still remaining in my eyes.
That's good. Damn, yeah, that's good. Just kind of running through the list. I'm gonna right now. I feel like I should keep Jay Brooks. I feel like I should. And all the time, Jay Brooks is not up there. No. But he did have that really good season. And we're talking about like 21st century guys. Oh, all right.
I love seeing the mental back and forth here because I've been in the same spot for this.
Yeah, that one's so. I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep Jay Brooks. I'm gonna keep him.
Sure, you're keeping Jonathan Brooks, Rod. Final answer. Keep or cut?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep him.
So that is 4 keeps. Keeping Bijan Robinson, Jamaal Charles, Deontay Foreman, Jonathan Brooks.
He's got beat. That's 4 keeps between the both of us, right? Is that what it is?
No, it's just 4 keeps total.
Okay, 4 keeps total. Okay. Oh man.
So 2 names left on the list. Would you like to know who you cut, Rod?
Who?
You cut Fozzie Whitaker.
Oh, that's a good one. I like Foz.
And you cut Cedric Benson.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning.
Cedric Benson one hurt me. And okay. Yeah, the Cedric Benson one hurt me. Yeah. That's a bad move.
And that's why we do these, because it's a blind deal. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. But to your point, Rod,
I figured he had something up his sleeve, but the Cedric Benson one was that's egregious.
Like, we can't even include, Hodges Mitchell had 2 really good years at Texas, his last 2 years in 99 and 2000. he was ineligible. Ricky Williams, Earl Campbell. I go down the list. Chris Gilbert. How many great running backs have been at Texas that we couldn't even include? And again, you still got, of these 8 names, like all of these guys you could consider, like, man, that guy had a great career. That guy was great at Texas. This guy shows you the running back tradition at this place.
No, Rodney messed that one up. I should have saved that one. I should have cut Jay Brooks, but yeah, that's on me. That's on me. Egregious.
The Jonathan Brooks conversation, that kind of goes back to where things were heading with him. And I know I kind of planted my flag, and you went to Doak Walker. You're the best running back in the country. You got to be on this list here. And Jonathan Brooks was well on his way to at the very least being a finalist for the Doak.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff, I know that you're screaming from the mountaintops, Texas wins that championship in 2023 if he stays healthy. He was that level impact guy. It was only for 1 year, and I think that's where the biggest knock is between him and Cedric Benson. Of course, Cedric, what was he, a Big 12 freshman of the year, MVP of the team for multiple years, ran for 1,000 yards 4 straight years. Like
Doak Walker Award.
Yep. So you get the longevity aspect that was lacking with Jonathan Brooks. And for Fozzie, look, another guy where it wasn't always the prettiest outcome in the win-loss, but you see the talent, you see the returns, you see the playmaking in the passing game, you say, God, I just want to watch more of him. So I'm taking Cedric Benson if I could go back and do it again. But I got to tap the Fozzie and Jonathan Brooks, because next time I see Fozzie in the booth, I don't want him to shoulder check me. What's going on, man?
Yeah, no doubt. No. I love Foz. Actually, is a fan favorite. I can say that right now. I hang out with Foz, and it's amazing how many Longhorn fans they gravitate to him. And he's a great person as well, a great human being as well as a great player. But yeah, the Ced Benson one, RIP, by the way, to my boy Ced B. That's egregious. Like I couldn't guarantee that Jeff had it, but I knew he had something up his sleeve, and I should have known he was setting me up for the okie doke with Jay Brooks. I should have known. So yeah. I should have known he was setting me up for the okie doke, man.
That's the fun. That's the fun of these games. That's why I like doing it. But obviously for this game, he was cut, which is it's unfortunate. But Rod, it's hard to put into words like the impact Cedric Benson had. Like I've heard this all the time. Like some guys in the NBA were like this. Like some guys just don't want to leave college. I think if Cedric Benson had his druthers, he may have played 10 years at Texas if he could have. I think Ricky in a lot of ways was the same way. Like there's just some guys that they become synonymous with the place they're at. They fall in love with the place. And you look at kind of that from max start to right before that national championship season in 2005, of all the great players he coached, you can make an argument that he was the best.
Yeah. No, it was like I said, he really was the identity of those offenses a lot of times, because it was a power run game. And he was running downhill. Some of those early teams that he was on with us, with Chris Sims as the quarterback. He was running downhill. And talk about a guy that was good enough. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Mac learned that. That was part of Mac's learning, one of his big lessons that he had to learn. And Ced B was a big part of it. We got whipped by Oklahoma, and then I think he was criticized so heavily for not playing Ced Benson that he caved. The tail wagged the dog on that one. And then I think Ced B still rushed for 1,000. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Yeah, that year he still ended up rushing for 1,000 yards, like right over 1,000. Like that's how good he was. He did that largely right after Oklahoma and on. So he was a beast. And like I said, I was with Ced B twice. I was with him in the league as well for a little while, because I was with the Bears when he was with the Bears. So Ced B, man, I miss him. And he's definitely one of the GOATs. So I feel even worse. I didn't know. I couldn't guarantee it. And so I chose poorly. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you look at the totality of his career. CJ mentioned the 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. One of only a handful of backs in the history of college football that's done that. Over 5,500 yards for his career, 64 rushing touchdowns. He even caught 69 balls and 3 touchdowns. So just a remarkable career. CJ, I'm guessing if you had to do anything else, that would be probably replacing Jonathan Brooks with Cedric Benson. Would that be the move?
I think so. We were put in a tough spot, Rod. Jeff gives us 3 hot, fastballs
Yeah.
right out of the gate.
And then he snaked it on you. He snaked
We
it
got to
on
ponder
you.
what's coming.
Yeah.
And
That was good.
the snake, but no, I mean the fact that the guys that we cut were who they were. I mean, that again just kind of gives you an idea of how deep the tradition of Texas running backs has been. There's been plenty of backs that didn't make this list, right? Roshan Johnson, I'm sure.
Trey White.
A bit of a case. Trey Wisner led the SEC in rushing, or at least was a returning guy. You even go back a little bit further. I mean,
Chris Ogbonnaya played in the league. I didn't have him
right.
on this.
Like Jonathan Gray, I'm sure had he been healthy, would have been in consideration. But so many talented backs. Chris Warren for, 2017, 2016? Like, you had guys that spent time in the league that we're sitting here saying, not among the 8 that we had for this concept. So that tells you how deep this running back history is at Texas.
Could have thrown Ramon Taylor in there too.
Man.
Our team there. So yeah. 21st century Texas running backs, a little game of keep or cut. We'll keep doing these. Rod will redeem himself. I'm sure.
I'll redeem us. I promise.
Rod, CJ, thank you guys for the knowledge and expertise. As always, thank you to Matthew behind the scenes for producing it. If you're not a member at ontexasfootball.com, make sure you get over there and check out everything we've got going on the website. Make sure that you like this video and that you're subscribed to the On Texas Football YouTube channel. That way, anytime we drop a video or go live, you're not missing any of our Longhorn coverage. For CJ, for Rod, for Matthew, for the entire On Texas Football staff, I'm Jeff Howe. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And until next time, hook 'em.